Hey guys, welcome back to another video, a review of the brand new Metallica album, 72 Seasons. Legendary thrash metal band Metallica is back with their 11th studio album, their first one in about 7 years. Their last album in 2016, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, was pretty solid. It wasn't their worst release ever, it was pretty good. But as most people commonly agree, nothing they've done post 2000s has been nearly as good as what they did in like the 80s and early 90s. But I would not use that to discredit Metallica entirely at this point, because besides Saint Anger, I wouldn't necessarily say that they have any bad albums, just kind of mid at worst. So going into this thing, I was kind of just like expecting mid, as sad as that sounds. We got 4 singles for this album before it released. We had Lux Aeterna, which is just this straightforward speed metal banger. The riffs are tight, I think the vocals are pretty solid, it's a good track. Then we had Screaming Suicide, where I really like the riffs here, and once again, the vocals are solid, the solo near the end is pretty cool. We had 72 Seasons, the title track, which once again, it is just a very solid cut. The riffs are tight, the vocals are solid, I've said that like fucking 50 times this video. The only single I wasn't really feeling was If Darkness Had a Sun, which is just kind of boring, I guess. Not their most interesting track ever. And now that we have the album, I can pretty much say that my mixed opinions on the singles are pretty much my exact same opinions on the entire album itself. Because yeah, I mean, it's a Metallica album in the year 2023. There are gonna be some duds here. There's the song Sleepwalk My Life Away, which is, it's sleepy, and You Must Burn, which is also not that interesting. But other than that, I really don't have any like major complaints about this album. Listening through, there really isn't anything that I could say was bad about this album that I generally just straight up disliked. And I will address the elephant in the room here, the track length and the album length itself. This album is fucking long. It is like an hour and 17 minutes, and a lot of the tracks are like 6+ minutes long. And for the most part, I didn't really find that to be an issue for me personally. The songs that I mentioned being boring, I will say, are mainly boring due to how much they stretch out and just don't evolve. But I mean, some of the longer songs, like the title track 72 Seasons, I did enjoy. I really didn't feel like they got stale or they were that boring to me. There were other songs that the singles though that I did like on this thing. I think that Shadows Follow is a pretty solid cut. Chasing Light has some interesting vocal inflections that I find to be a bit entertaining. And Too Far Gone is just a pretty nice thrash cut. It kind of goes hard. The last 2 tracks here are like the biggest highlights though. We have Room of Mirrors, which yeah, I mean, it just goes pretty damn hard. The vocal performance is pretty good. And look, James Hetfield has never been like the greatest metal vocalist ever, but I mean, he's holding up. Like, throughout this entire album, he sounds good. Like, I didn't really have any problems with his vocals. And then there's the closer, Immorta, which is an 11-minute long track. And surprisingly, it's really fucking good. I enjoyed this track a lot. It's probably my favorite on the album. I find the hook to be pretty catchy, and I really like this slowed down middle section with that nice bass line, and James Hetfield coming in with the vocals near the end of that section are just really fucking good. I really liked his scream here going into the harmonic guitar section. And yeah, this track really doesn't feel like 11 minutes. I think that they did a good job at keeping this one track entertaining, and it serves as a pretty good closer. I liked it finishing off the album. But yeah, overall, this album has its moments. It has its kind of mediocre moments as well, though. It's a decent listening experience. I would revisit some of these tracks in the future, probably. Is it the greatest thing ever? No. Is it like the most innovative metal record ever? No. But I still found it enjoyable. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching this video. Tell me what you thought about the album in the comments section. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? Tell me why. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe, I'd appreciate it highly, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.